Cthulhu, death may die. Hi, I'm Greg, the Masked Gaymer, who forgot to put on his mask for the beginning of this video, but we're going to pretend that this box is my mask. Today I'm going to be reviewing Cthulhu, Death May Die. Also on my channel today I'll be posting my first playthrough where I learned to play the game with the Dized app, D-I-Z-E-D, which is an app that tutorials you how to play games, and got a bunch of rules wrong and died horribly. To be fair, I died horribly a whole lot of times after that. But at this point in time, I've played through each episode in what they call Season 1 once, so I feel like I'm ready to give a review to Cthulhu, Death May Die. I stayed away from this game for a very, very, very long time because I knew there was tons of expansions. I knew there were tons of Kickstarter exclusives that I was like literally going to want to buy everything. Said, okay, Gurgles. I call myself Gurgles sometimes. You're going to get the base game box and then get nothing else. I got the base game box. And then I bought Season 2. And then I bought 2 of the monster expansions. And all of those things arrived this weekend. So I'm going to be playing. Also, I'm going to be live streaming later tonight my first playthrough of the first episode of Season 2. So what is Cthulhu Death May Die? Cthulhu Death May Die is we'll call it a dungeon crawler, and we'll call it a dice chucker, and we'll call it Ameritrash. An Ameritrash game is what most of the games I play are. There's in the world of board gaming, for people who are new to it, there are Euro games where there's lots of choices to be made, and you make a lot of analysis, and every decision counts, and things are very, very complicated. Then, by counterpoint, you have what you call Ameritrash games, which are games that are fast and dirty and usually full of like thematic elements, and that's the kind of stuff that I really enjoy. But I like Ameritrash games with a lot of choice. Now, what Cthulhu Death May Die does not have is a great choice ratio. It is just quick, wild fun. If you've ever played or heard of Zombicide, it's by the same company that made Zombicide. And I think it shares a lot of things in common with it. I personally dislike Zombicide a lot, but really enjoy Cthulhu Death May Die. And I think the difference for it is the plug-and-play modular nature of Cthulhu Death May Die. So in most Lovecraftian board games, you are normal, everyday people facing these overwhelming forces of evil in which you have no chance. And usually it's the kind of thing where if you decide to fight a monster, it doesn't go well. Cthulhu Death May Die is a bunch of humans who have decided it's time to bring the fight to the giant Elder Thing monsters. And they come prepared to fight. They can one-shot the cultists. They can sometimes one-shot the giant monsters. And they just run rampant and kill everything. So the basic structure of the game is you have a predetermined map. This is a setup for Season 2 that I'm going to do later tonight, but I'm going to show it now just for description's sakes. So you have this map that's pre-generated. You have this evil board, which has included on it the Elder One or Elder Thing that you're going to fight, as well as the episode that creates the map, and you plug those two things together, and that combination of an Elder Thing and an episode are what makes your game. You then pick which characters you're going to play. If you're playing this game solo, you must play as at least 2 characters. There's no true solo mode. The game itself can be played 1 to 5 players. I have yet to play it multiplayer, but I have played it three-handed, where I've controlled 3 characters by myself, and it was totally fine. I was totally able to manage all of that. On your turn in the game, you're going to get to do 3 actions, which could involve running around the board. They could involve shooting monsters. Pew, pew, ah! They could involve healing yourself. If you're wounded, you can bandage yourself up. And anything else that might be unique to that episode, which is included on like the episode explanation cards. After you do all that, you draw a card from the Mythos deck. And just like any other Cthulhu-esque game, the Mythos deck is the deck of bad things and the deck of doom. In the deck of bad things, it's going to maybe move some monsters that'll come and attack you. Maybe it'll spread fire throughout the building that will hurt you. Maybe it will make you go crazy, make you go insane, cause you sanity loss. I think we really need to come up with a better word for the Cthulhu games than sanity, but we'll just leave it the way they call it. And then you might also have these summoning symbols on the top, or you might not have a summoning symbol on the top. Once you get 3 summoning symbols, that's when SHIT starts to go down and get really bad. Anyway, so you resolve your Mythos card, and then if you're in a space with no monsters, you get to draw a unique discovery card from that episode, which could be companions, items, curses, all matter of things that can help and sometimes hinder you in your goal of defeating the giant monster at the end. If there's monsters or cultists in your space, they're going to attack you and you don't get to find anything because cultists and monsters are mean. And that's all that happens on your turn. You do all that, then the next person does all that, and so on and so forth until you either win the game or lose the game. So some other things. Each character has 2. We're going to use this is my favorite character from the first box. It's the kid. She says, "Wah!" I mean, come on, look at that. It's wild. It's wild. It's like they took all the darkness of. It's like they took all the darkness of Cthulhu and they made it into a Bruce Campbell Evil Dead spinoff. And the vibe for the whole game is like that. It's just wild, and I fracking love it. I fracking love it. Anyway, so like the kid, she is a marksman, which means she can shoot things in adjacent spaces, and she has arcane mastery, which increases her chances of success when rolling dice. Then she has her own very unique skill called gate manipulation, which does something complicated that I'm not going to talk about right now. But so each character has their own unique skill, and then one of 2 generic skills. One of the things that I learned going through this game is you 100% need to have somebody with marksman if you're playing like by yourself. Otherwise, you're like just gonna die. And that marksman person usually just stands there and goes pew 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 pew, while the other person runs around the map and gets everything done. Anyway, when things happen that make you insane in this game, unlike other Cthulhu games where you just die if you go insane. In this, the more insane you get, the more it unlocks your very, very special skills. So you would have this little, let me pull up that thingy again. You would have this little sanity track. And whenever you reach one of these googly goggly spaces, you get to also level up one of your skills. Now, in addition to leveling up one of your skills, as you get further down the track, you might add extra dice to every dice roll you do. And you also have your own particular brand of insanity, which is randomized at the beginning of the game. So in this case, the kid would be kleptomaniac. And whenever she reaches a squiggly squiggle, she has to steal an item from one of her compatriots. And so the closer you get to death by insanity, or I guess total madness, the stronger you get. And so you're kind of forced to make a decision if you're going to try to go wild earlier so that you can go wild, but you might die faster. Or if you want to hold on and be a little chill, but then you're going to be weaker and the monsters might overtake you before you get a chance to do anything. Right. So that's how that works. When each episode has its own specific how to disrupt the ritual. You cannot kill the boss until you manage to disrupt that ritual. And once you disrupt the ritual, the boss, who's much bigger than the other monsters, will spawn on the map. And then you have to kill it not once, not twice, but 3 times before it dies. And each time you kill it, it's going to get stronger and have more abilities, and get stronger and have more abilities. So like once you trigger disrupting the ritual, you got to get in there and kill stuff. So it's also possible that I just want to talk about how much I absolutely love this miniature of, oh, sorry, I can't say his name. It's Hastur, but I'm not allowed to say it because I'm playing a game of Arkham Horror, the card game, with a group of folks. And if you say his name when you're playing the game, you automatically lose 1 sanity. So if I was sitting here explaining this video and I said, look, I love this mini of Haster, my character just lost 1 sanity in that other board game and is now closer to death. And Min, Jake, if you're watching this, don't forget to make me take that 1 extra point of sanity for saying that on this video. La la la. Okay, but you'll see like each episode comes in these cute little episode packs that have like the mythos cards for that pack, the discovery cards for that pack, and anything else you would need. So like if you're going to be taking this game somewhere, if you're the kind of person who does take games to other people's places, you don't even have to take the entire box. You can take just your little episode. You can take just your little monster pack and pick 2 characters and whichever of these things you need for that. And you could probably fit it in something much smaller than the main box. So even though it's a giant franchise, you can totally take it places and play it pretty easily. And the game itself plays in less than an hour. Like it's super quick. It's super wild. Now here comes the thing that makes it surprising that I like this game so much, because you have to roll a lot of dice in this game. Now, when I roll dice in a board game, usually 9 times out of 10, this is what my dice roll looks like. Blanks. Always blanks. I always lose. I lose terribly when it comes to dice. So I tend to hate dice games. But the good thing about this one is on your basic dice, there's only 2 sides that don't qualify as a hit, as far as I can tell. So I do hit much more often. Like my bad luck still comes back at me, but I do have more luck in this than I do in other things. And the other good thing about this is because you don't roll attack dice and defense dice, you just roll attack dice. So when I'm rolling for the monsters to attack me, I also roll very poorly. So it kind of balances itself out. Now, if I was playing this with other people and they were rolling the dice for the monsters, I think I would die a whole lot faster. Oh, I want to talk about another one of these minis from the new pack that I just haven't played yet. Not safe for work, not safe for work, not safe for work. Look at this guy. He's like hiding some very large package. Very large package. These monsters, it's like a gross, like bulbous zombie monster daddy. And I freaking love it. I forget where I took him from because I'm gonna need that later. Okay, and he's just so gross. The minis for this are so good. They make me wish that I could paint them so bad. And I know I'm giving this rave review right now, and it's probably just because I got this game semi-recently, and I'm sure like a year from now, it'll be gathering dust on my shelf. But I really dig it right now. If you happen to be watching this and you know of anybody who's trying to get rid of their Season 3, Season 4 Kickstarter pledge, send them my way. I missed the boat. I got into it too late, mainly because I didn't want to spend money on that. Now I want to spend money on that, but I don't want to spend the amount of money on that I'm going to have to spend on eBay. All right. Anywho, I haven't come up with an additional with an official grading system for how I'm going to review games. If it's going to be a scale of 1 to 10, a scale of 1 to 5, a scale of something I make up in and of myself. But what I will give to Cthulhu Death May Die as a rating is wild, zany, mindless fun. All right, we'll say I'll give everything a scale on 1 to 5. I'm going to rate this game a 4.5 on a scale of 5, which doesn't count. Okay, so I guess that makes it a 9 out of 10. You know, you'd think I'd be better prepared for this, but I'm new to this whole thing. So anyway, I really, really, really love it. I think if you like horror-themed stuff, you'll like it. I think if you like games that don't make you think too hard, you'll like it. If you want to always win a game, you're not going to like it. Like you die a lot in this game, just like any Cthulhu game, you die a lot. The rules are so fast and so easy to learn. I could teach this game to somebody in probably 5 minutes. So yeah, who else will hate this game? I always like to think, who will hate things? People will hate this game who want to like maximize their character's abilities. Like you never really get the chance to like get all the way up to here because there's just not enough sanity for it. And by the time your character gets very powerful, the game's almost over. And this game would not benefit from any kind of progression-based campaign system. It's all about being quick and dirty and messy. So yeah, I mean, if you don't like that kind of thing, you're probably not going to dig it. You're not going to feel, when you win this game, you're not going to feel like, dang, I'm really good at board games. I beat Cthulhu, death may die. No, you're going to be like, Haster, you're dead. I have 1 life left. Okay, let me reset this and play it again. Like, it's going to happen real quick and real fast. Wow, they didn't do a great job of cutting this plastic off of this sprue. Even I do better than that with KDM. Anyway, okay. That is my review of Cthulhu, Death May Die. I'm going to post this. I'm going to post my first playthrough of Season 1 where I was learning the game with the Dized app. And then later this evening, I'm going to live stream my first play of Season 2, which nobody is going to be there to watch live, but I'm just practicing. So I don't care. So thank you for tuning in. I'm Greg, the Masked Gamer, and don't forget to keep your health bars full. One more thing. Haster, 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 Haster.